A lot of speed.
He warming up.
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love on my mama. I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass on my mama. And he laughing. He laughing.
Our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
You know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you got to know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You got to understand their DNA, you know. And we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like we all.
Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'm gonna show you and him. Bet.
And it begs the question, Tank.
Before their bout, Jake Paul sparred with Shakur Stevenson, which infuriated Gervonta Davis. According to him, Jake is free to do anything he wants, but it won't matter. Tank was adamant that he would beat him up on fight night to demonstrate his full might. He asserts that Jake's warm-up and sparring won't matter when they square up in the ring.
For fighting Jake Paul, but yet at the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So, do I think that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter, that this is a sideshow, freak show fight, but yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight. And then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake.
The irony in the criticism of the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis bout has been pointed out by boxing observers. Tank's decision disappoints boxing purists, according to fans and observers, but it also helps those who perceive personal or commercial gain. This dichotomy was emphasized by Shakur Stevenson, who asserted that despite Tank's choice upsetting traditional supporters, he is still prepared to engage with Jake Paul in order to uphold his standing in the discussion and promote the sport. This dynamic highlights how intricately business, reputation, and fan expectations interact in contemporary boxing.
Look at how Tank started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another 40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Road for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40-50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo money.
When it comes to his impending bouts, analysts have noted that Gervonta Davis is largely driven by money. Many think Tank is more interested in the financial rewards than in legacy or boxing status, which is why the current bout with Jake Paul in particular has sparked discussions. According to observers, if fans wish to see the promoter, in this case Turk, would have to give him the sort of big money contracts seen in bouts like Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford if he were to take on elite opponents like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach. Money appears to be Tank's primary motivator at this point in his career, affecting his decisions more than championship success.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight now?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be.
Respected boxer Shakur Stevenson was obviously disappointed when Tank chose to fight Jake Paul rather than take on him in the ring. He explained that many people view Tank's avoidance of a battle with him as a ducking strategy, which is insulting to the sport. Shakur underlined that selecting a crossover opponent over a top-tier professional like himself compromises the integrity of boxing and that real fighters take on obstacles head-on. The ongoing discussion over Tank's objectives and the importance of financial incentives above athletic honor has been fueled by this public comment.
A lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the road rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
When fans questioned Tank Davis about claims that he avoided elite boxers like Shakur Stevenson, he replied aggressively. He made it apparent that he doesn't give a damn about what others think, pointing out that after one bad performance, supporters frequently switch allegiances. Tank emphasized that he still prioritizes his professional and personal objectives before appeasing all of his fans and detractors. His unrepentant attitude to managing criticism and pressure while retaining authority over his own choices and combat course is evident in this response.
You think that Jake Paul could win a legitimate boxing title?
No, no, because he's so far behind someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time. He started very late. That's why I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. If he fought a legitimate, top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the up. If he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10, that would be astonishing if he can get to that point. If he beat anybody in the top 10, that would be to me the greatest thing he's ever accomplished.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
I think he's done it the right way because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva might be able to beat him. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson? I really thought, oh, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body. Because I thought that's what would win him thing, but he did not do that. I think it makes for a good matchup. He's made for great spectacle.
In response to the growing controversy, Michael J. White said that Jake Paul could never be regarded as a true boxing champion, regardless of his performance or fanfare. White underlined the difference between real title fights approved by key boxing bodies and exhibition bouts or crossover battles. His remarks support the doubts about the fight's legality by reflecting a wider view among professional fighters and fans who view Paul's endeavors as entertainment rather than a showcase of genuine championship talent.
I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him. Yes. He recognizes that he's too big for him.
I'm wondering how this even came about. It can't be that Gervonta Davis needs money. That can't be the reason why
he's been a world champion so recently. How could he be broke?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he doing this for money? And then why and how is even Jake Paul doing this when no one respects it? Like, I can't think of anybody that respects this.
But Jake Paul has been able to carve out and make his own lane in boxing, and I've never seen anything like it, bro. He literally, I mean, we don't know what weight class he fights in any situation. We just don't know. He kind of makes his own rules.
He makes his own rules.
And it seems like people are playing by those rules. I remember a couple weeks ago, the WBC and the Jose Sulaiman was very upset that he wasn't going to be able to put the belt on the winner at Canelo versus Crawford. That's the thing that's happened since the beginning of the time. Those guys are very powerful in boxing. But with Zuffa boxing, it was almost like that power was getting stripped away. They were very disappointed. But how can you take those sanctioning organizations seriously when they are sanctioning this?
That's my point. That's why I think that this whole thing that we have, this boxing and this MMA argument and Zuffa getting into boxing, our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I talked about this before. Like, I didn't know why they were fighting because, I mean, Gervonta Davis' last fight was at 136 pounds.
Former champion and esteemed pundit Daniel Cormier blasted the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis bout, calling it uninteresting and unworthy of entertainment. According to Cormier, Tank does not fight for financial gain, and the contest is not in line with the level of competition that is anticipated at his stage. Cormier challenges the fight's attractiveness and goal by portraying it as a dull bout, suggesting that its main goal is to pique interest and get social media attention rather than to further boxing's competitive standards.
Do we think the fight is ridiculous between you and Jake Paul? Yes. Are we going to watch it? Yeah. Do we like it? Maybe. Maybe. And let me tell you why it's maybe, why it's not no, why it's not yes. It's maybe because many of us, we just don't believe it. We just don't believe the fight is real. We know it's an exhibition, but we just don't believe that you two are going to try to take each other's heads off. Other than that, it's kind of interesting. You have a 5'5" lightweight versus a heavyweight Jake Paul, who's really not a boxer with an amateur background and all that shit, but he's been knocking people out. It's kind of interesting if we knew y'all were trying to knock each other's head off. And we don't know that because Mike Tyson did knock out Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Rock Logan Paul, that kept him standing. That shit, we getting tired of that shit, right? We need confidence. Are you guys going to try to knock each other's heads off? Jake Paul, when you swing at Tank, are you going to try to hit him and knock that little man over the top rope into the damn fifth aisle? Are you going to try to hit him and make his ass evaporate? Or Tank, are you going to show the world that Jake Paul should not be in the square circle with a real boy? Are you going to try to knock his ass out, sleep him, drop him like you did Ryan Garcia, stop him the way you did Mario Barrios, knock him out like you did Leo Santa Cruz? Are we going to get a viral knockout? Are y'all going to try to stop each other?
The adult recognized that, despite the fight's unusual nature, public interest would probably guarantee enormous viewing, according to commentator Showeyes. Due to Tank's recent remarks on his possible retirement from boxing, many are unsure if the fight will ever happen. These worries have been heightened by the conflict between Tank and Shakur Stevenson on social networking sites like X, where the two combatants sharply criticize one another's skills. By combining entertaining and competitive expectation, this drama gives the sport an additional degree of unpredictability.